Hi and welcome to this video. I'm going to tell you the importance of tickets. Now, if you work in IT, whether this be a help desk or DevOps, the concept of a ticket is the same. It's something you've got to do and it's come from someone. Why these are so important is they are your ticket out of jail. Quite literally, if you pardon the pun, it is your ticket out of jail. There's two things you might hear of. You might hear something called the CYA policy, or my other favourite one I learned from a guy, Mr. Errol, called the APM System. Now, what do those stand for? CYA policy is your cover your ass policy, and the APM system is the arse protect mode system. The reason for that is if something goes wrong, or you have a manager start questioning you, why are you spending all your time? You're not doing anything. If you can back up with a ticket and say, hold on a minute, I was doing this, then you are covered. And the reason I mention this is a good friend of mine, David, he really instilled into me, especially when I was trying to go into a proper sort of help desk environment, because I've pretty much done it all. But help desk was kind of interesting for me. So it was the first real corporate type help desk thing I've done. He told me, look, you need to make sure you document and ticket everything. We were using a system called ServiceNow, and we could actually email people through there. For example, if someone emailed us and say, right, I can't connect to this network share, then what I could do is reply back and it would actually go through the ticket. So my response would be logged. Trying to say it was really diplomatically, we had a lot of managers on our case and, they just start questioning like, why is this taking so long? And why is that taking so long here? And you should have done this. And in fact, we were able to show, full ticket history and say, look, I emailed the user, they have replied back. We've got this exchange going back and forth. And the user said, look, I'm away for 5 days, so I have parked the ticket. Because they'd always be looking at our queues going, well, why have you got 26 tickets assigned? And you go, well, look, this one's on holiday, this one's it. The point was it was all documented and it was covered. But this is the key part, and this is what I learned off my good friend David. If someone came down to you in the help desk room or someone asked you as a favour, the key part here is someone has approached you directly. They have not logged a ticket. Your first thing you should do is log on their behalf. Yeah, it's a pain, half the time you'll say to do it yourself, go ahead and log it. But if it's like, you have those colleagues, they're kind of your friends, and you're like, yeah, look, how you catching on here, how asking about the football, how the kids are, that type of situation, you're probably going to log it on their behalf, right? But the key thing is make sure you log it, because this is, again, your CYA policy. If your manager then turns around and goes, well, why are you wasting your time? You're not doing anything. What ticket are you working on? If you turn around and go, oh, I haven't got one logged, but I'm helping so-and-so, there's no paper trail. But now you can turn around and go, well, actually, I'm working on ticket 999, and I'm helping Kate over here with her desktop setup, then you're covered. But that's really the key thing I learned, is it's kind of your get out of jail card. Because a lot of time, if people start going, well, this is wrong, or you haven't been working on it, even something as simple as like, okay, I've had a look at the ticket today and the system is still broken, or we're waiting for a part, just even a simple update every day. You can pick your time when you do it. For me, I would normally first thing in the morning, have a look through the tickets, what's in there, what we need to do. And usually towards the end of the day, I'd start going through and look, again, this is probably just like a knee-jerk reaction from working with like really bad managers in a help desk environment. But what I would do is I would go through at the end of the day and just update everything, even if it was a simple one line, like I did not have the time today to go and see so-and-so user or awaiting reply from user. This video is more so aimed at help desk people or people looking to get in IT who just aren't aware of this. You'll hear it preached a lot, but again, this is just going to save you so much time. It's going to save you so much pain. And also looks really good because here's the other thing. A lot of help desk stuff is based on metrics. And I think from what I understand, it's a bit different from call center support, where when you pick up the phone, a ticket is logged and you do it straight there. That's part of the metrics. Typically a more like corporate or like a end user type of help desk situation where, common type of one is that you are the IT team, like you are just the little team in the corner that everyone goes to. If you have the metrics in that situation, they're not going to be picked up by a phone call. So what you need to do is to bolster up your numbers and also to keep it, show you time logs and what are you actually working on. The fact you were logging it looks really good because again, David and I work with engineers and it's sometimes be quite common. User would come down, yeah, I've got a so-and-so problem. They'd start working on it, but it wouldn't log anything. So then when the manager came around, what are you doing? All hell kicked off because, well, you should be working on these tickets I've assigned to you. And then also if something went wrong or something needed ordering, then it was a nightmare. But the fact, when it also came down to review time, well, how many tickets have you done? Well, actually, I've helped all these users, but there was nothing in a paper trail. It really didn't help anyone's case when they then had to try and prove, well, I've closed 100 tickets, well, where's the proof? Well, I never logged them. But again, it is your get out of jail card. It's if anything goes wrong, you're wasting your time, you show them the ticket. If something breaks and the user's not happy, you should have it all in a ticket. Two platforms I quite liked were ServiceNow, where you could have that instant email integration. But the other one, if you're looking to set something up because you've got nothing in place, and look, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but Spiceworks is fantastic. It's a free help desk bit of software you can set up. It installs on Windows, which is a bit odd. I would have thought it did like a Linux thing as well. They may have changed that, but at the time, recording this or when I last used it, it was all on Windows only. But it's really neat because the fact you can have the same similar functionality, the user can log in, or you can even link it up with LDAP if you want. And it's really neat because where I was working in one of my jobs, there was a ticketing system, but say nicely, it was atrocious. It was some really old. In fact, I think it had been depreciated in like 2004. And at the time I was working there, it was probably around 2017. So yeah, this thing was well and truly out of date. What I did is I introduced Spiceworks. The nice thing about Spiceworks is it was free. So saying to a small business, I want to bring something in, usually the first question is, well, how much does it cost? And you go, it's free of charge. And I went, brilliant, that sounds good. I wanted to push that to more users, and then we started getting some users on board. It was kind of interesting because they liked it. We had an email address set up and said, if you've got any IT issues, we've got to keep a record. So can you email it to helpdesk and the company name? It would log, go into Spiceworks, new ticket created. Then what we could have is one of the engineers could just go through, you could pick up the ticket, have a look. And again, like ServiceNow, you could start emailing responses back. So if we had to chase up and say, okay, have you received this new bit of kit we've ordered for you? Or has this resolved the issue for you? It was all logged. And the manager liked it as well because he could go through there and see. And I think Spiceworks had something really cool as well, is you could also track delivery and orders. So from the manager's perspective, he could see, okay, well, this piece of kit hasn't been ordered, or this one has, we're waiting for delivery. And we can even see, okay, this one has been delivered. And now he can then go back to the engineer, well, have you installed a new hard drive for the user? And again, it's all about this accountability. Like I say, if you start moving into DevOps, the term ticket starts moving slightly differently. So this is when you start moving to Agile, you've got Jira, I get called it ticket numbers, everyone called it stories. I'm old school, came from the help desk. I go, yeah, I've got ticket number, and it would be something or other. And they go, well, no, that's a story. But again, similar concept there. I kind of, obviously not working with David at this point here. I started slacking a bit. I wouldn't update the stories in Jira. So I'd have something assigned to me, and I would just fix it and go like, this is how I fixed it. But the key thing with Jira, and it was a bit different that you won't see so much with an IT help desk, is obviously with Agile, you have all these different phases you're in. So you have like the implementation, the discussion, you have the testing phase, the in progress. I've seen a bit of a meme online about Agile when it comes to consulting, and it's definitely seems to be something about Deloitte. In particular, it seems to come, I have to try and find a picture somewhere, but it's like they would take Agile and turn it into this huge, big, convoluted process. When I work with teams here, and my good friend Ray, we go through this sort of stuff. We do Kanban boards, and it's really simple. It's like 3 columns of like to do, in progress, and done. I got a bit fancy. I added a 4th one, which was blocked, so we couldn't progress. But the key thing about this, I'm digressing now into like Agile and Jira and Kanban boards and all that. But I slacked. But then I started learning when I started getting pressure, because the project managers would then start going through it and going, well, the Scrum Masters would also start going through it and go, well, where are we at? Why isn't this being done? And the fact I could update, so I started going back into the help desk process of going through it and going, right, this needs updating. End of the day, my mission, quickly update everything. Again, even if it's just a one-liner of I am blocked, or I am waiting on this, or this is completely with another team, doesn't matter. It's just that accountability. It's one of those things we don't see as the engineer. And this is DevOps, help desk, sysadmin. There are managers, and they've got managers, and they've got stakeholders. There's a bigger chain than us, but it helps them out so much that they can actually see what's happening, what's going on. And again, it also helps covers us, because if one of the managers of another team goes, well, the engineer's not done it, but you've been updating it every single day, user will not reply, call them at, you can get really detailed about this. And they call the user at 12:09:37, and they have not replied back, to any calls or emails. And then your manager then has that backed up and go, well, actually, my engineer here for the last week has tried to email your user and call them up at these times, and we've had no replies. So therefore, we closed the ticket. It just sorts out so much. So there we go. That's been a bit of a rant and a ramble about why tickets are so important. Hope it helps you out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.